The so-called Chinese solution is finally carried out. Frightened and inexperienced, the Soviet troops who are ordered onto the streets resort to a level of brutality that shocks even their own commanders. This amateur videotape of the killings is smuggled out and broadcast to millions around the world.
Wir wussten alle, dass in den Seitenstraßen russische Soldaten standen, Gewehr bei Fuß. Wir haben uns irgendwie doch darauf verlassen, dass die nicht schießen werden. Naja, das war ziemlich naiv, also wenn man es von heute aus sieht. Wie viele dann wirklich erschossen worden sind, das weiß man ja bis heute nicht. Aber einige davon habe ich selbst gekannt. Da war zum Beispiel eine junge Frau, die kam zu den Montagsdemos immer mit ihrem Kinderwagen. Also sowas merkt man sich, das vergisst man nicht so leicht.
Are you going to leave these children, these women, these defenseless people to a murderous dictator to have more scenes like that and the West do nothing effective? Is that our policy? It's not worthy of Europe, it's not worthy of the West, it's not worthy of the United States. Perhaps these pictures will bring people to the realization they can be more effective.
Ja, meine ganzen Hoffnungen auf friedliche Reformen, die waren dabei, also die gingen dabei im Bach runter, ne? Also, die waren geplatzt aus der Traum. Und das Einzige, was wir noch fühlten, das war ohnmächtige Wut in der ganzen DDR. Hilflosigkeit.
Wir sind ein Volk! Wir sind ein Volk! It is just 2 days since the killings in Leipzig, and a desperate throng of East Berliners has gathered near the Berlin Wall in the vicinity of the Brandenburg Gate. East German security forces are uneasy.
Bitte verlassen Sie den Platz in dieser Richtung.
Befürchten Sie, dass es hier härtere Auseinandersetzungen gibt?
Nein, das weiß ich nicht. Aber es hat sich auf jeden Fall etwas gebildet. Ich bitte Sie sofort hier zu verlassen. Bitte verlassen Sie den Platz.
On the other side, thousands of West Berliners are seen climbing atop the Berlin Wall. They too are suddenly calling for the reunification of Germany. It is an unprecedented moment. Heavily armed East German border guards find themselves caught between the two groups. Suddenly, the guards are overrun as hundreds of East Berliners make a desperate run for the wall.
We've just received a report that at least 23 people have been killed tonight at the Berlin Wall by East German border guards firing into the west. The shootings occurred during a massive demonstration near the Brandenburg Gate involving people from both East and West Berlin. Among the dead is a West German cameraman, Matthias Hedeker, who was shot in the east filming the event. There's no doubt that this unprecedented breach of international law is going to have enormous political and military repercussions in the days and weeks ahead.
Die Lage ist polizeilich hier nicht einfach, denn wie Sie sehen, ist die Situation recht gespannt. Wir müssen jetzt auf jeden Fall alles tun, damit sowas wie letzte Nacht nicht nochmal passiert. Also eine Eskalation und die unkalkulierbaren Folgen, die müssen wir abwenden.
With our ambulance, we were the first at the Brandenburg Gate. The shooting across the wall must have been completely indiscriminate. I saw face injuries, abdominal wounds. I still see a young man who tried to ligature his girlfriend's bleeding leg. Also, he had a graze at the shoulder himself. We doctors in West Berlin didn't have any experience with gunshot wounds.
Peter.
Among those who make it over the wall are several East German army soldiers. These two, seated here in a West Berlin apartment, are the only ones willing to speak openly to the media.
I was not going wait for orders to open fire on our own people, like our border guards did. I'm not a murderer. I'm a soldier in the army, in the National People Army. Last night I saw an opportunity to get away and took it, along with everybody else. That's all.
The Russians, they say they're shooting at imperialists only, at counter-revolutionaries. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Hoping to end the negative effect that Western news reports are having on world opinion, the East German government cuts off all communications with the West. Foreign journalists are ordered out of the country.
Guten Tag, meine Herren. Ich mache Sie darauf aufmerksam, dass Ihre Akkreditierung abgelaufen ist. Sollten Sie irgendwelche Probleme haben, wenden Sie sich an das Ministerium für Auswärtige Angelegenheiten. Ich fordere Sie auf, Ihre Tätigkeit sofort hier einzustellen und mit Ihren Kfz davonzufahren. Haben Sie das verstanden?
We were all sickened with what was going on in the East. And we couldn't just turn our heads the other way as we had done years ago with Czechoslovakia and Hungary. Seeing these horrors on television night after night gave us a renewed sense of what it meant to be German. At the same time, it was understood, of course, there was very little we could do without our allies.
In Paris, French President Mitterrand expresses the grave concerns of Germany's neighbors.
J'avais dit, je ne crains pas l'unification qui me paraît légitime. Mais il y a des obligations internationales de toutes sortes auxquelles il faut souscrire si l'on ne veut pas compliquer la situation et créer des tensions inutiles et dangereuses.
Ben, je sympathise avec les Allemands. C'est affreux ce qui leur arrive. J'espère qu'ils vont trouver une solution pacifique pour éviter la guerre, quoi.
Moi, je ne vois pas pourquoi les Français iraient donner un coup de main aux Allemands. Après tout, c'est eux qui ont déclenché la guerre. Et maintenant, il faudrait qu'on aille les aider. Moi, je dis non, tout simplement. C'est non.
In response to threats from political extremists in West Berlin, vowing to avenge the killings in the East, the Western Allies agreed to beef up security. Over 2,000 Allied troops are airlifted from bases in West Germany to reinforce the 12,000-man Berlin Brigade. Two days later, U.S. Secretary of State James Baker arrives in West Berlin for talks with Chancellor Kohl. Kohl is briefed about recent high-level contacts with Soviet opponents to General Soshkin. The following day, the top commander of Soviet forces in East Germany, General Dmitry Leonov, is ushered quietly through Checkpoint Charlie for a secret meeting in West Berlin with Secretary Baker.
This was my idea, I'm sorry to say. Well, we had been receiving intelligence reports that Leonov was not at all happy with the orders that he had been getting from Moscow concerning the crackdown. I thought inviting him over for a little chat might do us all some good. And it might have, too, if those crackpots hadn't decided to play Rambo.
There has been a huge car bomb explosion in West Berlin tonight, just a few hundred yards from American military headquarters. Among the dead is the Soviet commander of military forces in East Germany, General Dmitry Leonov, who was here on a routine visit. The authorities here are telling us that an underground group of West German neo-Nazis has claimed responsibility for the assassination. This latest act of violence just adds to the feeling here that the Berlin crisis is rapidly spinning out of control.
Wir fordern ein Ende der 40-jährigen sowjetischen Besatzung. Unser Kampf gilt der Einheit unseres Vaterlandes. Am 14. Dezember 1989 haben wir den Kommandeur der russischen Streitkräfte angegriffen. Wir werden weitere Aktionen durchführen, bis unsere Forderungen erfüllt sind. Wir sind ein Volk. Heil!
Heil! Heil!